What is good, everyone? We are live. This is the first Chicago Bulls halftime show of the year, and it is not a good one. I'm your host, Corey Tulaba. Man, the Bulls are just absolutely getting their ass kicked. There's no way around it. I mean, there's a number of things that they need to do to resemble an NBA team. I'm not even going to pretend that the Bulls are going to have a chance to come back and play in this game. They just need to treat this year as a development year, and this is the kind of game where they're just getting absolutely manhandled. Absolutely, I mean, they look like a JV team playing a varsity. But the things that they need to do and focus on in the second half is what we're going to talk about, because the Bulls being down by 20 plus points, giving up 83 points in the first half. There's just there's nothing to do right now that the Bulls are going to come back. They've shown nothing. And it starts with Trae Young. Trae Young is absolutely demolishing them. He is toying with them. He's got 27 points, 5 assists, 7 to 9, 5 to 6 from 3, 8 to 10 from the line. I mean, absolutely demolishing them. It's embarrassing. He's a phenomenal offensive player, but they have no answer. And he's doing all of these crafty little things that, Trae Young does to get to his spots and and toy with the defense. He's doing the thing. He's forcing Coby White into, the little fouls where Trae puts him in jail off the pick and roll and then just stops on a dime and is all of a sudden going to the line. He's got Ryan Arcidiacono, coming off screens and, the same thing, stopping short, 3 shots at the line right there. He's putting on a clinic. And it's actually leading to a bigger point that, the Bulls fans, I think, are going to have to reckon with, because there is a large segment of this team that is all, or the fan base rather, that's all in that Coby White is going to be the Chicago Bulls point guard. And he's going to play the position, but he isn't a point guard. Look, he's got 3 assists, 3 turnovers. The assists, right? 3 assists in the first half, not bad, right? The problem is he has no command of an offense. Every pass that Coby White makes is not, there's nothing advanced by the passes that he makes. All the passes that Coby White makes are simple drive and kick. They are, one pass off a pick and roll. There's nothing that you're going to see out of him that looks like what you're seeing from Trae Young, where he is commanding the offense, coming off a screen, baiting guys, putting them in jail, forcing the defense to collapse and then hitting the weak side. He doesn't do any of that. And this isn't his fault. I don't think he was really billed as this incredible creator coming out of the draft. He was a scorer. My pre-draft comp for Coby was Jamal Murray. And you look at Jamal Murray, and Jamal Murray's a bucket. He's a scorer. He's not a guy that you look at as, hey, this guy is going to manipulate other teams' defenses and make sure all of the other guys get going. It's not how he operates, and it's not how Coby White's going to operate. But the thing is, Jamal Murray, luckily, has a guy like Nikola Jokic to do that for him. Trae doesn't, or Coby doesn't. Coby has Zach LaVine and Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter, and they have all of these individual pieces that are interesting individually, but none of them are going to be a creator. None of them are going to be a point guard. And that's going to be the story for the Bulls this year. It just is, man. Forget a second. Their defense looks atrocious. They gave up 83 points. You're not going to win any games when you give up 83 points on pace for 166. You're just not going to win any games. But what I need to see, I don't need to see wins. I need to see development. I need to see who could stay and who can go. And the Zach LaVine and Coby White backcourt, I'm just not seeing the long-term fit, just because neither one of them can create. I mean, Zach LaVine, he's been basically the Bulls' entire offense. He's got 17 points. He's doing a lot. His 3-point shot's not necessarily dropping, but he's doing a good job otherwise. But he's got 1 assist. The Bulls just don't have creators. When Ryan Arcidiacono is the guy who can probably run your offense the best out of all the guys that are active right now, you got a real problem. The Bulls have a real problem there. Tomas Satoransky, he's not there. He'll help a little bit, but he's also not a long-term solution. So this point guard situation, I know it's early, it's one game, but sometimes you just know it's not easy to figure out how to turn into Chris Paul. And I'm not saying Kobe won't ever be adequate. I'm not saying that he's not going to average 5.5 assists or 6 assists a game this year. It's possible. It's certainly possible. But all I know is he's much better when he's just looking to score. And the Bulls need to find somebody who can create. That's the big thing outside of the defense in the first half. Other notable things, on the I'll get to some pluses in a little bit, but Wendell Carter Jr. has been pretty much invisible. And that's been a problem. He was a guy who came in, showed a ton of promise. He's, typically excellent defensively, but I mean, you give up 83 points. It's not on one person, obviously, but the Bulls are getting no rim protection. I mean, everyone is having a field day. Nobody is shooting less than 50% on the Hawks right now. Except Solomon Hill, who took one shot. Everybody else is above 50%. And they're just getting to the rim at will. And, the Bulls are trying a new defense. Last year, obviously, Jim Boylan's horrible defense where they were bringing the big up to blitz was not the answer, but it doesn't necessarily feel like what they're doing is the answer right now. And we need Wendell to be a guy who's going to be around the rim blocking shots. He's got no blocks. He's got 5 rebounds. He barely, and a lot of them came in the last couple of minutes of the second quarter. He's got 2 points, made a nice post move, got fouled, but 1 shot. I mean, he's not going. He's going to struggle this year. I think way more than Laurie is. Laurie's had a really good half offensively, 16 points on 6 of 8 shooting. He's hit 4 threes. He's looked aggressive. He looks like a guy who wants to go and get that contract. Wendell's a guy who kind of needs other people to create offense for him. Laurie is a guy that last year he was a pick and pop guy, but at the end of the day, he can create his shot a little bit. And Wendell can't. Wendell needs to be set up either in the pick and roll or, pick and pop. And I'm fine with him shooting threes, but outside of his little post move, he's had 1 little 3-point shot and that's it. And he needs to be involved. And again, that goes back to the point guard play. If Wendell Carter's playing with Trae Young, he's got a couple of lobs. He's got, a way easier time getting easy buckets. And that's a problem because eventually you're going to have to move on from this Markkanen and Carter front court. And we're not really going to see what either of these guys are fully capable of unless they play with a point guard. And none of them have. It's been Chris Dunn and, Archie Diacono and all these guys who are makeshift point guards, but none of them are real. It's not the real thing. And unfortunately, none of these guys are going to look, at their best that way. How's the 4th pick doing? That's Pat Williams has been one of the bright spots. 11 points, 4-6 shooting, hit a 3, knocked down both his free throws, came over, great weak side block. He's looked really impressive. He's confident shooting the mid-range shot again. That's his bread and butter. He's been, one of the bright spots. And I think that he's really the only guy who's a lock to be here in the long term. He's obviously the new front office's pick. So that gives him a little more leeway, regardless. But he's a guy that looks like the modern NBA. And the rest of the guys, there's all question marks. I mean, Zach LaVine, he's an NBA player. I think he's a good NBA player. But he needs guys surrounding him to get the best out of him. I don't know if I do know this is not the team. This is not the roster build that's going to do that. But look, I have no, kind of crazy ideas that the Bulls are going to come back and make this a game, but I do want to see them put up a fight, and I do want to see them just make progress. I want to see, Pat. I want to see more Pat Will. I want to see Markkanen. I want to see LaVine, and I want to see if Kobe can be a point guard. All right. Well, this has already been a sad NBA season for me, knowing that the Bulls are going to be horrible again, but we got the Cade Cunningham sweepstakes. So if they really suck, maybe we'll get Cade, maybe get Jalen Suggs. It's one game. I don't know. I'm going to tune in. This has been the first of hopefully many Chicago Bulls halftime shows. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I will catch you guys later. Peace.